Did you get it?
It's recording right now. That's what the thumbs up was.
Right. So, it's been 3 months since my last video, and I don't fucking film me. God damn it. That's all going to be in the video. 3 months since my last video. My printer broke. When I get this off, I'll show you what happened. But my build plate, the wire burned out, and so I haven't been able to print anything for 3 months, and I've had to wait for the part to come from China. Finally came in today, so I thought I'd do a video on me switching it out. I kind of already took most of it apart because I had to watch a video to how to do it. But essentially, I've already removed the bottom plate of the main console, and then now I just have to remove the build plate, which will involve me completely loosening and removing these tension screws without losing them. In the meantime, I haven't really worked on anything. I can't get the screw off. Pretty much, it's pretty simple. It was a lot simpler than I thought it would be to swap out, to remove and reinstall the new hotbed. It actually has, a lot of the connections are already done, and these pegs just slide into an outlet. They hot glued the shit out of all the connectors inside it. So I actually bent a pair of tweezers trying to remove it. The screws on the back side are much harder to get off. Actually, oh wait. Okay, that's easier. This like generates power moving it. I don't know if you can see with the little light over here on this side will come on as I move it. So even though it's not plugged in, just moving it generates some sort of power. What? Okay. I don't want to fucking ruin it.
Well, yeah, I get it. Just, you can edit that in.
Well, I'm not editing the video.
Oh.
I don't have editing software.
I do.
Yeah, but converting it from the video format, the WMP4 or whatever the fuck, format that iPhone fucking uses, because they can't be like everyone else. They gotta be so fucking special with their goddamn unique formats that it won't convert properly to my PC. I'd have to get video conversion software that will run the file, convert it, and then upload it to fucking Windows
Twitch.
Media Player and edit it, or not Illustrator, After Effects.
Gotcha. Well, even on the Mac?
My Mac won't stay running long enough for me to do anything.
Gotcha.
I feel like I'm turning this the wrong way. God, I'm turning it the wrong way. My palms are getting sweaty.
Mom spaghetti.
What?
I said mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti?
Your palms are sweaty?
I've never fucking heard that.
You don't listen to Eminem.
No. Do I look like someone who listens to Eminem?
Yes.
You're out of your fucking mind. Is it just me, or does this one have to turn in the opposite direction that all the others had to? It's like righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I'm turning this one to the right for some reason. It's coming off. So, with that off, this should just slide like so. I don't like how they did that. That might have been part of the problem. So, up here at the top, you can see the burned wire. Get in close enough. So, it would burn straight through the wire, right? Like this mesh and into the wire. So, and as you can see, they have it when it sits on the build plate like this, they have it wrapped around the spring, the front spring. It's actually zip tied to it on the spring, and that might be causing some of the leveling issues I've been having is because there's a zip tie on the fucking spring. So I don't know why they thought it was a fucking good idea to do that, but I'm not going to make the same mistakes they did. So, get that shit off. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'm not using this build plate anymore, but yeah. I don't understand why they did that. Actually, I think I'm gonna have to take this off so I can get this. Oh no, this is melted too. I'm not doing that. Yeah, so this is probably where it melted here. Where this is coming in contact, you can see in the plastic. Where's better light? You can see the plastic here is burnt and it's more melted on the inside. And that's actually where it's coming in contact, where it starts. So I'm thinking that may have been the issue because it's holding it right up here next to the build plate. And this build plate is getting up to 100 degrees Celsius, 90 to 100 degrees Celsius, I think. No, the build plate gets 60. It's that extruder that gets up there. The build plate gets to 60 degrees Celsius, which is whatever in Fahrenheit. So, but I mean, it gets pretty hot, and especially when you're on the, and it's hotter under here than it is on the top, because this is directly where the coil is. So this is right there on the coil, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It's burning here because it's being held here. So this is the old plate. It's a it has the backing, but this is an aluminum tray attached to a glass pane. So all in all, we don't need that anymore. I've already assembled this, but because it came in pieces, the plate was separated from the glass But here's the new pristine one. When I put it on, we'll put it on like this, paired to the printer. So we're probably gonna wrap it around just because of these connections. So we're probably still gonna do that, but we're not gonna put a zip tie on the spring for whatever dumb reason they decided to do that. And we're not gonna put whatever that plastic bit was and hold it here, because that's gonna be stupid as well. Like, we don't want to hold something flammable next to the thing that will set it on fire. So difficult part here is going to be lining up. I lost the spring. Everything in place. This came with 4 metal washers, but when I was watching the video, it didn't say where those washers are supposed to go. So I'm going to assume they go nowhere, and we're just there. It also has rubber washers, which it wanted me to put on, which again is another weird thing. But I fucking knocked it over. This is probably a much easier way to do this, but I got it.
First try too.
I gotta just make sure that this is properly out of the way. I actually do want to feed it out the side. So I actually kind of do want to go around that spring, but like I said, I'm not going to zip tie anything to it. I'm not going to do anything that holds this wire to the bed. I do have a piece of plastic that I'll use to hold it here, which will be better, but definitely I'm not going to do anything that's going to hold it to this bed, because that's dumb. and then it will feed through here to the power supply. Because at first I thought it was the power supply, because this metal brick is the power supply, and I thought it was. At first I thought it was, but there's actually because this feeds. This is the original cable was fed through this, like right up next to it, and I've touched the power supply while it's running, and it power supply itself doesn't get really hot. So, big thing will be making sure that this can go all the way forward, go all the way back. So, that should be enough. Go all the way forward and go all the way back. Yeah, and it's weird because it's also powering this. Look at the screen. Like whatever this is doing is generating some power. So I don't know, I guess it helps with power consumption if it generates its own power while it moves. Which would be against the laws of physics, because perpetual motion is theoretical. Yeah, so and I would just put these leveling pegs back on. My videos are super interesting. This is the first time you're experiencing one. If I can fucking do it. The best part is like this piece of glass is so pristine and not scratched up because there were on other ones. On this one, there you can see there are some gashes where I didn't know what I was doing, and I was literally scraping the bed against the glass when I first got this. So part of once I get all this on, one of the big things will be I'll have to re-level this. This was actually leveled pretty low, so I didn't have much to work with as far as the pegs were concerned. So I didn't have they would be super tight, and I wouldn't be able to turn them, and I still wouldn't be able to level it properly. So this way it gives me enough room. That wire still bothers me. I gotta find a way to flatten it out without it rubbing up against the gantry. So, the way I'm gonna level this, because this does have auto bed leveling, is I'm gonna level it first with the auto leveling, because that will set a 0 for it, and then I will go in with manual leveling afterwards, and then I'll do it over again. Probably won't go into won't include the leveling it in this video because that takes forever and it's really boring. I'm basically pushing it down to test the tension, so I know how much I actually have to work with when I'm leveling it. It's actually sitting up it definitely is sitting up a little higher than when I had it before. So now that is attached, now we gotta plug it in, which will involve me leaning it back gently. And here we will run it through system. I don't have an anti-static pad or anything, so I do have to be careful because it still is a computer system with the motherboard and everything else, so I don't want to touch it unnecessarily. And if you're going to touch anything, if you're going to do electronics and you're going to, like say you're working on a computer or anything, and you end up touching anything, you want to always make sure you're at least in contact with the frame. That way you're grounded to it. Will decrease your chance of static. of frying one of the boards with static electricity. So this will go in right there. And then this will be the positive and negative. So okay, I assume that's correct. So positive go on this side and the negative go on the other side. I need a screwdriver. I can't actually see anything because power supply is in the way. Essentially, this just clamps down on top of the exposed wire. So, not too tight, but just tight enough that it won't come loose. And then do negative. Again, because I'm this close to the board, I'm making sure to touch the. I'm not even there. That's not. I can't see anything. Where's the hole? There's a tiny little hole. Got that one. We can get this one right. Give me a second. Let me move the light. It won't actually reach across, so I have to.
Gotcha.
Still not long enough. That might have actually been the issue. If this one isn't wanting to tighten in, let me unscrew this all the way. Should be in, so I don't know why it's not wanting to. There we go. So that's in tight. That has also been tight. This. Or actually, no, I don't want to put those. They're heat sinks. This is a fan, so. There was a zip tie in here that I had that held everything in place, but I had to cut it. Hand me the plate next to you. This was the. I guess it doesn't really matter. Hand me this screw. Let's put it over. The annoying thing when they built this was that they used different, like 16 different types of Allen head keys, like screws. So like, there's a different one to put this on, there's a different one to put on the clamps. And while the printer came with like almost a full set of Allen keys, the hotbed did not come with any of them.
So did you have your own Allen keys that worked?
I don't have any. I have all the Allen keys that came with this. Luckily, they fit because there's all the Allen keys that it comes with all the Allen keys that you need to do any sort of maintenance on it. Because whereas like most places, you start taking apart, like with most electronics, you start taking apart, you void your warranty. But the thing with 3D printers, because they can be so temperamental, is most places. God damn it, the screw does not want to go on. Most places do not. Most printers, like you can get the parts separate. Like for this instance, I got new hotbed, which requires me to open up the main cage or rig or whatever. We'll use computer terms because it's the only thing I know. I would say tower, but it's not tower, and I can't get screw it. There's an Allen key. I was actually surprised because I never actually tipped this over and looked at the bottom of it before. So I was surprised to see how much ventilation there was. There's basically, I don't even understand why the panel's even here. There's so many holes, like the holes are huge, and they almost go all the way across. I don't know why they even bothered with the panel. It's like this, it's the same thing on this side too, on the inside, and I think no, not on this side, but on the bottom and on the back. Or technically this is the bottom and this is the back. What I should have done to avoid any accidents is I should have removed the gantry entirely, but this was a pain. Took me 30 minutes alone to get the gantry on, and I had to take out 3 screws on each side, and lining it up was a bitch. So that's all assembled. That's all the pieces. Just tip it back over and clean my desk because I have no room for it. My new workstation is amazing, I know. It's so organized. Oh. Not gonna worry about that. It's fluid on the desk. Desk out so that I don't risk the back of the thing hitting it. And now we're going to test it to see if it works. Let's go to tool. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Let's go to tools, preheat, and preheat bed. Should preheat it to not 80. The fuck? No, preheat. No. Never mind. Stop that. Stop that. Preheat for PLA. And this will print it up. So this is the extruder temperature, which it'll heat this up to 190. I don't have any filament rolling through this right now. The bed right now is currently at 34 degrees, 35. It also feels a lot rougher than the other one. The other one had a much smoother texture to it. This one feels a lot rougher, which works out when you're trying to... A rougher surface will provide better adhesion for the build plate. I definitely feel it warming up. Just gonna make sure it warms up on all sides of the plate. But yeah, definitely looks like it's working. This thing doesn't get too hot to begin with. It goes up to about 4 PLA. It goes up to about 60. Even on the manual, it says. Well, I just ripped that part off, but like for instance, your PLA, your TPU, which is what I'll mainly be printing with, is PLA TPU. Actually, probably one of my next prints coming up is going to be, I have my own design for Vegeta armor that I'm going to be printing. I'm going to be printing it on a TPU, which is a flexible type of filament. And for the build plate, that would be around 50 to 70 degrees Celsius. PETG, which is the clear. I think that's the clear filament. That's 70 to 100. ABS, nylon, PC, polycarbonate, and whatever PP means. Which is cool because this thing can reach up to do polycarbonate, which is great if I want to get shot at. Build armor so I can get shot at. So. Now it's at 51. This side feels hotter than this side. Okay. I don't feel any. I feel like a little cold spot right here. But that could be because like this is brand new, so I might have to let it heat up a little bit long. But I'm not. All around, like the main thing is like for me, like this is a large printer, and that's mainly because I need the build height. Not so much that I need the overall width. It's just really the height because pieces like the thigh, which sit in the center, doesn't take up a lot of space, but it does nearly like the maximum height of the gantry is right about here. So this is just within my build height. The last thing I was working on was this. So I was doing the cod piece, the front of the cod piece. This was about 12 hours of work. This is when it burned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and once I get this leveled, I'm gonna reprint this piece. And then the rest of the pieces I have to do the left shin, shoulders, and the boots, and that's about it. By then I'm done, and I'll have everything printed out outside of the cod piece. So I got a ton of stack of filament over there, all ready to go. Because this died right before my birthday, and everyone got me filament for my birthday. So, one of the things I've been asked about recently is people wanting me to print helmets for them. I'm not opposed to doing commission work like that, but I want to finish this project first, which may take me another month to do. Now that I'm printing back, I have some other things that I need to print other than the armor to finish up some other projects. So it wouldn't be for a couple months before I would be ready to take any sort of commission printing helmets, because I still have to think of like pricing and everything else, because there would be a pricing for printing the helmet itself, and then if you wanted any cleanup, some sanding, whatever, painting, that's going to be extra, so I have to figure all that out. So for now, I'm not really going to be doing open commissions for helmets or armor or anything like that. That will be something I plan on doing in the future, just not right now. Other projects that I'm working on in the meantime is with my resin printer. One of the things I had to shut off is this was a rough print. I have a better print of this upstairs, but I don't feel like getting it right now. But modeled XJ9, and I just got the model rigged so that, don't zoom in on that. It's terrible. Don't do that. This is a horrible test print. Look at the eyes are all fucked up. There's no detail in the arms or legs that I put in. So, piece of shit. But the next one that I print out is going to be awesome. I just rigged it in Maya so I can do the poses. So I have to repaint the weights on it because I'm trying to get it to bend as she would bend in the show. Like, for instance, the knees would always be at angles. Like when she bends her knees, the legs are always going to be at angles, whereas the arms are always rounded and tubular instead of bending at the elbow. So I've got trying to work on getting that. Legs are easy, but the arms are being a challenge, trying to get them to deform that way with the rig. Then I have Gaz, Dib, and Zim that I'm going to be making as models. And I'm going to be redoing Gur to fall more in line with the type of models that I'm going to be making, more so figurines than something that you have to assemble and everything else. And then I have Robot Boy, all three forms, his deactivated, activated, and battle form. And then, much bigger project, Magus from Magus XLR. Just to give you an idea on how big he's going to be, his arm alone is going to be as big as Jenny here. So that's just his arm. So it's going to be a pretty decent sized model. I don't know if I'm going to make that one articulate. It's a lot easier to make him articulate than it would be other models. I don't know if I'm going to go that route or not, but if I do, it'll be cool. So this has heated up nicely. Printer's working. I won't know till I level it, because technically, most printers, at least cheap printers, don't have heated beds, and they print without them. So this wouldn't let me print because I had because the heated bed wasn't working. So everything's connected, the bed's heating up properly, but will it let me print is another question. Like I said, I have to do a bunch of leveling first, and then once I get this leveled and run through the test print, which will take about an hour or more, then I'll be ready to start on the print. And I'll do in the next video will be when that next print finishes, which will be the cod piece again. I don't know if I have enough of this filament left to do it, but because I really like this filament. It's Treants. It's like a baby blue. It looks really nice. And then it prints very smoothly, even when I was dealing with the temperature problems. Like upstairs, when I had this upstairs, I was running into a lot of temperature problems that I found out only after moving it downstairs and seeing the different quality of print, that my room was just getting too hot. That was causing the layers to expand and drag across the nozzle, and that's what was causing such those weird layer deformations. Moving it down here, that was almost flawless until the printer started fucking up. So we're going to try it again. We'll see how good this print comes out, and that should take about 12 to 14 hours to finish. It was almost done before it burned out, which was kind of annoying. I wish it had lasted at least a few more hours, so I wouldn't have wasted all that filament. But too late now. Happy to get my printer up and running again, and then hopefully finish up the models for this one. Again, got a few. I'm definitely not going to do any sort of commission work until this is done. So, thank you for watching the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you. I'll stop the video.